Hello and welcome to Mostly Off Topic Plays Laughter and Dragons. Yes, I in fact remember the game session we're halfway through. This is episode 25. Look at us having done research in the interim of us playing Laughter and Dragons. I'm joined by Ben.
Hi.
Joe.
Hello.
Matt.
Hello.
Is that from your metal days, Matt?
No, that voice is gone, but that's a remnant of what used to be. Yeah.
And we
yes.
are playing Laughter and Dragons. And we're halfway through a session, so this is why it's always slightly crazy. So, spoiler alert, we're playing Laughter and Dragons. If you are playing Laughter and Dragons, we will tell you what happens. True story.
How far are we through the book, Paul?
We are on page 55
Out of 500?
of 160.
Episode
Solid.
25.
It's almost
Let's,
a page.
I go back, take Dome, I pick up Dome, and I just say, let's just go.
Let's get on with it, man.
Crack
We've
on.
got pages
Get to the end.
Pages to get through.
How much of it's a glossary and stuff though?
Right, okay, so it's a 160-page book, and the epilogue of the final adventure is page 149. So you're about a third of the way through the adventures, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adventures, and we are on the third.
Yeah.
In fairness,
Okay.
so about halfway.
I mean, second edition is coming, so let's
Let's crack on.
get busy.
We'll hit alpha, and we'll play some of this with alpha. Because alpha, it's going to be
that's
core,
good,
isn't it? And then we'll have the start, which we'll play some of the start because Matt's going to run it for us. Right. Anyway, back on track. So this episode shouldn't get interrupted because Kenny is already in bed, and so that's the third thing I say. Right. Okay. So also, whilst we clearly are quite happy to tell you how we play, show you how we play, have an opinion on how we play and what the group is about and what's happening with the One Ring. We are fundamentally four guys having a bit of fun playing a game in the way in which we want to play it, doing the things that we want to do with the in-jokes and the stupidity that you get in the gaming groups everywhere, but a healthy respect for Professor Tolkien's work from Joe and Matt, basically. So please don't kind of be like, but the guys on Mostly Off Topic, they did this, therefore this must be the one true way, because we're just not into one true ways. It's not what we're about. But if you have got questions about the game, or you've got questions about how we play, or what have you, please do drop us a shout. We love the engagement. We'd love to kind of like read the comments. We'd love to hear people kind of like who maybe have been inspired to play from watching us, or have picked up the game and kind of like wanting to have a bit of fun. It really just kind of like acts as a bit of a pick me up. I love it actually. I get quite a buzz from it, but also it feeds my ego, and that's possibly a bad thing. But there we have it. Anything from anyone? Or shall we hit?
Yeah, we also love Matter King, right? We also love Matter King. That's just.
I mean, that goes without
You know,
saying.
I was using my
Puns.
in real life today.
That's how dedicated Joe is. He went out laughing.
It was LARPing in the allotments of Sheffield.
Yeah.
Those.
Instead of orcs, I've got weeds. You know,
I thought it was
They're
courgettes.
both green.
Small and green. Exactly.
That's right.
No, I think the interaction we're getting at the minute on specifically on YouTube is really nice. Not just because we make videos and it's nice to know that people watch them, but also just to know that there is a lot of excitement about second edition.
I'm excited about it. I'm really
excited
about it, actually. The more we play, the more excited I get. It would be fair to say.
Speaking of which, let's play.
I like it. That's
Let's do it.
The kind of style that it's the first part was the kind of thing that meant we were only on page 54. That'll get us to page 149 before we know it.
That's it.
So what happened last time, guys? Anybody know?
Man, I can't remember. It's so long ago.
I think we dug an hole
I've
and
just
went
been
through
touching
it.
a wall.
That's right. You encountered.
We rescued Master Domi, who is like
That's right.
our guru that we're chasing. He's onto something. He has found an ancient artifact, which is a shirt of mithril, which
Oh, he hasn't found it yet.
he
He's seen
has
it in a
found.
picture. He's seen. Oh, he knows where it is and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
He's onto it. He's onto
Yeah,
it.
he's-
And we had to rescue him and his companions, fought off some corrupt men and some hobgoblins and an orc. And we're now into the tomb where we think this artifact is held.
Full-blown Lara Croft in it.
If we find it, we have the chance to unite the dwarves of Erebor with the men of Dale. Right?
Or really annoy the men of Dale and give it to the dwarves of Erebor.
Or
yeah,
really
we have
annoy the Dwarves of
Dwarves of
Erebor.
Erebor by giving it to the men of Dale. But we probably could do with some of the status points back with the men of Dale.
we don't have a great track record with Dale.
We ain't about politics. We're about doing what's right. For us at the time.
Yeah, I was going to say. Said Sirk never. Okay, cool, good stuff. So that's right. So you had rescued Domi and his companions Kor and Torlin. Kor, who had suffered a grievous injury in the rescue attempt, and that you have carefully and sensitively kind of cared for and brought within the boundaries of the mausoleum. Fearing what was happening outside, the carrion birds gathering, and knowing that at least a pack of hobgoblins were still around, you have tried to carefully bring yourselves through, creating a gap that only the size of dwarves could get in initially. Excuse me, and laying Kor down to what is probably his final rest through deductive reasoning and careful kind of sights. Torg had worked the puzzle of the room out, and before you now there's a rough-hewn corridor that extends off this smooth worked and painted vestibule that you had previously been in. The torchlight illuminates the fractured nature of the stone.
Who's leading the way?
Oh, Domi's already gone through.
Huh?
Domi's already gone.
Oh, Domi's forged ahead, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's follow it.
So I guess I'm hot-tailing it after him.
Yeah. Okay.
Wary of his safety.
The light illuminates the back of Domi, and then suddenly it illuminates a much larger chamber. And a cool breeze that at first feels fresh, but then just carries a hint of kind of bite to it as it kind of comes against the skin, and you do feel chill in this room. The floor is covered by polished black marble tiles, and I should really turn off notifications because they're gonna make. Hold on, if I do that, then I'm quite likely to I'm going to screw everything over. Blackboard ties. There's a narrow stone bridge that spans what looks to be a fissure. The torchlight just doesn't reach the depth of the bottoms, and this cool breeze kind of brings some of the kind of ash and the dust up through from the fissure. So you've kind of opened out into the larger space. This is narrow stone bridge, only wide enough for one of you at any one time. And there's a coolness. You can see kind of like across on the other side of the bridge, the torchlight illuminates a couple of kind of like what you assume to be metal, kind of like globes or balls or bowls, kind of like dangling, slightly moving in the breeze. And there's the suggestion of a doorway behind. Domi's like he's kind of stopped just before the bridge. He's kind of like he's holding it out as far as he can, and it just illuminates very vaguely the side over there, and his light flickers as the breeze kind of like hits it and starts to burn a little bit more.
What's the smell? Is there a particular smell, or is it just smell earthy and damp and deep?
It smells as you come into the chamber. It does. You get that rock smell. You get that earthy smell. You get the dryness of the air, but then it's got this the sharpness. You know, like when you're out in a cold breeze and it just kind of like comes across your nose and kind of steals a little of the air from your throat. It kind of it feels and breathes in, but it's got this undertone of the kind of the dark depths being brought up and a little bit of a volcanic tinge to it as well.
Okay.
Tainted.
How
We're in tainted lands, aren't we?
Yes, you are.
definitely. How long's this bridge?
The bridge is not.
Is it
that
big enough for a
long.
Balrog?
I'm getting strong Bridge of Khazad-dûm vibes here.
You could probably fit, like a small Balrog on. Not maybe a teen Balrog. Early teens.
Teen Balrog. I want to see that spin-off.
Teen Balrog Go. Following on the conversation we were having in Messenger earlier.
No, don't like the animation.
It's maybe 10 foot across.
Okay.
You're gonna have to toss him.
Nobody tosses it. All right. Yeah, I thought. Well, let's just go for it. We need to just get over there.
Yeah, just wing it.
I mean,
Got wings.
there's something down. There's something down here, but I think pace.
Oh.
Are you quoting Trapdoor then?
I'll go first.
Okay.
No.
Loftar stood at the other side of the bridge. He's I'll go first. And then,
He just said he used his wings to get across.
He used his indicators pretty much like I do and told everybody to just turn left.
Can we double up here or at least I want to get Domi across safely. So if we can sort of bundle him over like bodyguards.
Yeah. So I'll get across and send you a signal. A verbal one,
which is
hopefully.
Come across.
Yeah.
So,
but I have a torch, so I can venture over.
Yeah. So Loftar, you kind of step out into the bridge, and you've been in similar situations before, and you kind of steadily with purpose make your way across there. But as you're kind of like moving out into the bridge, there's a distinct sense of how best to describe
Dread.
distinct sense. Well, maybe not so much dread, but kind of the wind buffets you more, and you can kind of feel the force of the breeze becoming more of a wind. And you can feel more of the acridness and the acidity of the volcanic rather than the Arctic nature of it. But there's also a sense of having moved from a place as well, having kind of like been within the vestibule, having been in that kind of like more grand area to a much more private space. As you kind of like make that action of crossing across the bridge, it feels as if you've entered a different zone of the whole construction, as if you crossed some form of threshold into a more private space. As you call across, you can't help but kind of just lower your voice slightly and be a little bit more respectful. It's like when you go into a library and all of a sudden it's like whisper. The black marble tiles are smooth and cool to the touch on this side, and you can see that the metal globes are two. I think my internet just died. Yeah, I think my internet just died.
Sorry, we marble on the marble.
Yeah, so I think my internet just died then. Just give it a little bit of time to settle itself
Dream. Oh, this to be back.
Yeah. I think I'm just got spikes of it going really kind of like slow. It just kind of dies, but it doesn't drop completely.
Like I run in the background of you.
Nah, there's nothing running in the background.
How's that vanilla porter bits of cake?
Apparently, it wasn't very vanilla-y, they said earlier.
Fair enough.
This has a picture of a hobbit on it. I'm pretty sure.
Like it.
Don't know who she is. Maybe it's Galadriel
Yeah.
having a bad hair day.
Queen and darkness and terrible than the dawn.
Okay, so let's pick that up. So the black marble, I'll start again because then I can edit it more easily. The black marble tiles are cool to the touch on this side of the bridge. But you see that the metal globes that are hanging are two large metal braziers wrought to black iron suspended from the ceiling using long metal chains. And there is an iron door between them. Dermy and Torg, you make your way across, and you can feel the sense again. Torg, similar to Loftar, as you kind of move steadily with some sense of urgency across, and you feel as if in doing so you've crossed into this private space. Whilst this might not be a doorway in the way in which you kind of normally see these things, it's definitely a threshold that you are passing over.
Are there any signs? Are there any kind of sigils or markings that are notable outside this door?
Give me a search roll as you look for
Okay.
it. I was going to do the gag that I was. Yeah, there's a yellow one that says floor wet.
It says what?
Floor wet.
Caution, slippery.
Yeah, I'll watch my footing. Make an athletics roll.
Battle Roggy.
Yeah. So Sirk, you're currently across the way. You're the only one that is across the other side of the bridge.
Let's see, 15
Does it?
on that search roll.
You don't find anything of any indication or sign or anything like that. They're dark and cold, much like death.
Does it still look dwarven?
Like
the tunnel that we've come through, or the area that we're in, or does it feel like we've entered that it was been built on top of something else?
So the fissure is natural, but you think that this is a worked stone tunnel, and in fact you can see the marks of the tools that have kind of brought it through. You would have expected the dwarves to have squared off the kind of like tunnel and not left it as rock.
That's what I mean. The fact it was rough.
Yeah, but the marble kind of like tiles and the as you can kind of see now, illuminated by the torches on the other side, the braziers, which I will at some point call braziers, but the braziers are definitely dwarven of manufacture. In fact, make a lore roll for me, sir, because you kind of like cast your eye on those things.
And obviously, a bridge with no handrails or any form of safety mechanism is very dwarven.
Oh yeah. There's no health and safety gone mad in the third age of Middle Earth.
26 regular.
26 regular, very good. So the braziers, they're the kind of thing that you would think would carry some form of some form of dwarven kind of secrets, or I don't want to say enchantments because that suggests it's more fey in the nature of the magic. But it's the kind of vessel that you would imagine would have some cunning dwarven artifice as part of it.
In which case, I'd go over the bridge and have a look at them.
Yeah. Okay. So Sirk walks with purpose, and again you feel a similar sensation. Yeah, kind of unconscious entering into a different domain. As you kind of cross that bridge, and Dermy is kind of like having a glance around, is helping Sirk up by the door. And these hang enough that they're kind of like, they're not like miles and miles up. They hang just slightly above dwarven head height.
I'll have a look round, see if there's any obvious way of activating, opening, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So what, you got 26 regular?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's nothing obvious to kind of like activate it, but you do see kind of like rune work reminiscent of some of the runes that you have been taught, kind of carved along them.
Oh, can I look? Do any of them make up the content of one of the spell of opening?
Yes. So there's very similar runes there. Give me another lore roll, I think.
10. 22, great.
Yeah, okay, 22, great. Okay. So as you're kind of like looking at these things and bringing your torch kind of like closer to be able to do it and kind of like looking around, you see that there's a partial some of the runes that you would expect for the spells of opening are on one, but not the full set that you would expect to see. And not the core set that you think are really the important ones. You kind of go over and you have a look at the other brazier, and actually that completes the necessary set of runes.
In which case, I'd call Domi over, point out what I've seen, and then suggest he activates one while I activate the other.
Yeah, cunning artifice of our forebears. Let us do so. It's kind of quite hard actually, because as the breeze is kind of coming over, you're kind of like trying to light it and it gets a little bit lit and the breeze kind of like takes it out, but eventually you kind of you extinguish it. As Torg is watching, he kind of like looks at you and gives you some advice from a smoker who's had to try to light that pipe in.
Turn your back to the wind.
in difficult
Cup
times.
it.
It brings him.
Hold your cloak up. Hold your cloak over the.
It brings into sharp relief the lack of power smoke weed that he has. But you and Dermy get them lit, and as they are lit and start to, the fire kind of starts to move, and the smoke kind of swirls around in the breeze. The iron door opens out. Domi like Linford Christie.
I'm ready for this. I'm ready.
We tackle him to the ground.
I'm his fucking shadow.
Cool. Let's have a contested athletics roll.
You
Torg
versus the really old man.
Versus Domi.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give a feat dice to, because he is. Oh no! But I'm going to give him a bonus success dice.
Okay, I got 2 dots in athletics, so
Yeah.
it's a fair contest. Okay, no, 16.
He rolled 10. So yeah. You're kind of like there, almost kind of like arm on his shoulder, kind of. No, come on, son.
I'm holding the hood on his cloak.
Yeah, okay. He's kind of like pulled and kind of like half drags you. You kind of half go with him, and it's an octagonal chamber, and it's filled with wonder, treasures of artifice, of gold, of beauty. It just fill your eyes. It's what you imagine Smaug sat upon, but like made small, because it's not the great hall, but just you've probably not seen as much value and treasure as this. As you kind of like bring the torches in, as Dermy brings the torch, and then Sirk and Loftar kind of come and move in quite quickly behind you. You can see all of a sudden the whole room lights up in orange dragon fire as your torchlight hits the mithril chain across the sarcophagus, and orange light plays in globes all around. You disturb a layer of dust covering the floor, and the air is stuffy and much warmer than the cold breeze outside. And your light plays upon this stone sarcophagus that forms the centre. It's a massive oblong block of limestone with a great slab of white marble laid on it. The slab is perfectly polished and just reflects back the light as if it had been just placed there earlier that day. And you can see intricately carved on the sarcophagus Dalish riders hunting deer in a forest, the faces of fair elves peeking through, but then in the corners the webs of spiders and dark creatures looking out, identifying this place as Mirkwood. There are shelves laden with wooden chests, ivory caskets, cabinets, glass urns, golden bowls, dishes, cups. It overfloweth with treasure.
With bling.
Clothes, jewels, pottery, old banners dangling from the ceiling, some ruined tapestries, blades and racks, rusted but well crafted nevertheless, flanked by suits of armour, Dalish style, elven style. If Girion was the Lord of Dale, there are books. If Girion was the Lord of Dale, he settled a king's ransom in the chamber of his son. Yeah, there's some books on shelves.
So definitely wants to have a look at the books.
Okay, you kind of head across there. They look worse for wear, albeit kind of like, you know, more fragile than fallen apart. Domi kind of moves to the sarcophagus, kind of like Torg having released his hood, partly from the grandeur, but also partly from having assessed no threat.
Just on that, really, really minor question. On that athletics roll, does anyone have an issue with me invoking willful to get a second AP?
I will ask the table first. Anybody got any issues with Joe?
What else have you got?
For AP.
What else
are you packing?
nothing that relates. So willful is I'm watching him, and I know he's going to be going in there, and I'm not going to let him go dashing in to endanger himself.
I'd say yes, in the sense that you recognise it in other people. So your willful trait, you recognise how willful he's being, and that if it was something that you'd been questing after for years, you'd be running in regardless of checking it. So that's why you're looking out for him. So yeah, I'd say yeah.
So let's come to Matt, who I recall and will remind was denied a trait usage in the last game.
I'm just checking.
Oh yeah, it was Trait Wars last game, wasn't it?
Trait Wars was the name of the game.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a look at what willful means. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I guess you can interpret that as being applicable to this situation. No objection.
There we have it. No objection, Your Honour.
Thank you very much.
Feels good to me. I think, you know, fundamentally, so the description of willful is that, you know, you're blind almost to the counsel of others, but it's also about imposing your will on others without giving them the option. So just grabbing at him and saying, no, you're coming on my terms, I think makes perfect sense. Yeah, quite happy with that. Cool.
Thanks. Glad to get budget approval on that.
It was. I tell you what,
we also want it noted in the minutes though, because we will reference back to it when you try and deny us one of ours later.
Yes. We will.
It wasn't just me who was on.
Let's place the integrity of the system above the petty exchange and transactions of goods. Though that was only round 1 of budget, we may come and cut it in round 2 and round 3.
Anyway, guys, you know, you scratch my back, maybe I'll scratch yours.
It's how bidding for stuff works in any form of organised structure.
In any zero-sum game, yeah. He who lies here was a prince among men, firstborn of Girion, Lord of Dale. Dermy says. So it says here. Graven in runes in this slab.
Loftar, smash it open then.
Well, I'm a bit hesitant because that sort of experience with the threshold and all this sort of grandeur made me a little bit humble, just a tiny little bit. So I'll be hesitant a little bit, see for reactions of others maybe.
Remember just a short time back in that last chamber, we were checking for traps and things like that. I'd suggest that we also have some measure of...
Any of the rusty swords glowing blue?
No. But as
there's no orcs.
As
Or they're
Torg
not
was
magic swords.
speaking, you all saw the kind of like grey mist cloud of his breath, and you all feel the sudden chill just gather about you. All the metal surfaces condense suddenly, and then there is a scream. The scream of a parent finding the cold body of their child. The roar of a lion dominating its area, and the shrill cry of evil. Quietened as it is by the mausoleum and the sepulchre and the fact that this dread cry was uttered from beyond the mausoleum, you feel it all the way through your body, through your bones, the tightness of your chests. Can everybody make me a fear test, please?
Oof.
Fear test.
Valor, innit?
14 target number.
So my valor is 3.
Everybody's valor is 3.
Oh, Gandalf! Yeah. Well, it's a success.
Gandalf extraordinary.
Loftar.
18, great.
Yeah. There's no need to prove.
It just sounds so ridiculous with it.
So the feeling of dread settles upon you, and you know, and you feel, and there's no coming back from that. There's the primevalness of it.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
But you're not afraid of no ghosts, though you do know to not cross the streams.
Did this cry come from across the outside the chasm across the bridge?
Yes.
Let's seal the door. Just come on, just do your.
So something like this, where we've got a wealth of treasure, and I'm just my mind is going to the kind of Drake side of things.
Well, I can't believe I didn't seal the doors to the other room upstairs. I totally could have locked them. Fuck, never mind.
Then
anyway,
there's another high-pitched wail. Less forceful, less damaging than the one prior. And then
should we try and find the thing that we're here to find?
It's there.
Pretty rapid.
Good call.
Across the way.
Should we do it?
Let's just run and grab it.
Do we need to search?
Demi stood before. You don't need to search. You can see the glittering as it reflects and refracts the light from you. Sirk stood in front of some books, also glancing across at some swords, checking if they're lit.
Let's leg it to the.
So is this thing in like so? What have we found the chainmail?
We have.
It's across the way in the chamber.
All right, cool.
Let's get it.
Legging it. I'm legging it. That's it.
We don't need it.
I'm grabbing the books.
Don't return to you. No, we are not thieves in the night.
Laura Secrets, man. It's
They will slow us
it's my shadow weakness.
They will slow us
There's
down.
no way I'm not. There's no way Sirk wouldn't take those books. But the knowledge in them.
You
Think of
knowledge
what
is
you
not
could teach
ours.
us, what we could learn, what we could pass on. Neither's the chainmail, and yet we're here for that.
Domi kind of like turns and looks at you, Torg.
let,
This is
let
not
us remember
ours.
let us remember our quest, Sirk. We can return if we may, but these things will slow us down. There is much we could gather here, but anything we take will further anger whatever evil lurks here and has gathered these treasures.
What are you doing, Sirk?
I don't believe that he'd believe that they could come back, and so he wouldn't want to leave them. And
Okay.
like I say, I don't know. I never knew exactly what the rules are around this. Is Lure of Secrets is my shadow weakness, so it is the thing that I would be taking the books.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but then I mean, if we go with that, then I can play the leadership card on top of that, and make some kind of speech. But I think,
And then what is it? But then
ultimately-
I don't know. Do you decide it on a roll, or do you decide it on a?
no,
No,
I think it's down to role play. It's
Yeah,
got to
that's
be
right.
down to role play.
You have to listen to reason.
Well,
Or
you
not,
know,
I'm
you
sorry. Or
play,
not,
you-
yes.
so you play your character how you choose to play your character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing to the shadow floor is quite a powerful, quite a dramatic thing.
He'd take them.
Okay.
It's yours. Yeah, he'll respect your opinion, but you know nothing of old ways and the information and knowledge and stuff. So
Sirk seems to feel better as you kind of get the coat of mail. Who's getting the coat of mail?
If I'm the first there, I'll just grab it.
Loftar grabs the coat of mail, lifts it off the stand that it's on. Kind of like
Puts it
your
on.
turn. You kind of like getting ready, distracted perhaps by this. Sirk kind of puts the books back. No, he doesn't. They're in his bag, and he takes 2 points of shadow for the misdeed.
nice.
Good call.
Now
Yeah.
3 shadow points I'm on now.
I
I need
like
to work
that.
out what the books are.
Well, I won't be reading them until we're back, like somewhere safe, sort of thing.
One's the Beano,
He's just doing
one's
it for the
dandy.
shadow. There's a nice dwarven quality if you have shadow.
Sirk's eyeing up this job in there as the voice of Sauron that he saw posted on the job on the link.
Doom Bunny's just said Sirk is legit going to kill the younglings before this is all said and done. But the youngling.
Okay. What's the plan? What are you doing?
Maybe.
Is there any way out from here apart from where we came from?
We have to go back,
We got to book it.
and we need to be quick because whatever it is it knows where its treasure is, right?
Let's do it. What do we think about, angering it perhaps by dispatching some of the treasure into the chasm? Distracted, just because he's going to weigh in the options. Oh, look at these bloody dwarves dispatching my treasure. I'll have them for that, but not
Domi's
before I
across the
grab my...
bridge. Well, when
It's
you
quite a
guys are
narrow
still
thing.
having
Yeah,
this chat,
we're booking it.
Yeah, let's not have a
Domi's across the
discussion
bridge.
about how we do it. Let's just hot-foot
Let's
it.
go.
Let's go.
Can I put the shirt mithril stuff in my bag, kind of, just to conceal it? Not that.
Oh yeah, I'm
having
assuming you've kind of like grabbed it and you kind of like shoved it in, like you've just woken up at your train stop, and you need to sort it out when we get off the train, kind of style.
Yeah. Poughkeepsie is the next stop. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you're across the bridge. All of you across the bridge. You don't know if it's just, but it felt colder. It felt stronger breeze. It felt a little bit like you perhaps had desecrated a space that had maintained its sanctity beforehand. And in the back of your mind, Sirk, there's a little bit of regard to did I? What drove me to do that? It'll all be fine. And you
knowledge is best served. We don't bury knowledge. Knowledge never hurt anybody.
But knowledge
Stealing
can bury
some
you,
shiny mail. If anything, he's like Domi's he'd see Domi as a bit of a hypocrite, telling him he couldn't take something he wanted, but Domi's taking something that he wanted, sort of thing. I've been searching for.
And you feel reassured as you kind of place your hand around your sword and idly touch the scabbard that it lives within, the reassurance of the rightness of your actions, and the justice and the equality that is being served, kind of strengthens your belief in that position. And you're into the vestibule through the rough-hewn area. Torlin is ashen-faced, shaking as he kind of like sits there, core dead to the world.
Can we shut this door behind us?
Yeah,
Torg, you opened it.
Through. You kind of like, you can pull it, you kind of grab the side of it and kind of pull it, and then at some point you move your hand and it clicks into place.
Have we got time for me to seal it?
Depends. I mean, how much would be too much time?
I see. I don't like. There's no like. I don't think there's any specific description of how long it takes.
Or it's a ritual that takes 10 minutes longer. There's nothing like that.
I would sod these doors. I'll seal the big ones.
Okay.
If we're all legging it out, I'll seal the the ones that were bound. When we get through that, pull them shut and.
Core has passed. Then
Core has passed
in the short time. Yeah, and Torlin ready to move on.
Torlin is probably not ready for anything. Torlin is going wherever you kind of like point him and push him.
Okay, well, let's just drag him to his feet.
Yeah, well, I'll help him out as well. Let's just get him out here.
He's shaking, kind of like he's got tears kind of coming down.
Come on, lad.
He's shaking.
Come on, lad. It's not time for you yet. Come on, let's go.
So out of the painted hallway, pull those doors shut behind us, and I'll use the spell of shutting to seal them.
Yeah, you scramble up the kind of like ashen slope, kind of harder for you going upwards than it was kind of like going downwards. It kind of
hobgoblins,
like lead, and in your feet. Loftar pokes his head out first. It's kind of like bright, even though you know the sun is weak. It's the brightness of it. And other than where the crows have kind of like been pulling at the fresh meat, it looks as you left it.
How long have we been down there?
I wouldn't say more than an hour.
Right, so it's mid-morning still then, realistically, because the sun was just cresting as we were.
Yeah, you were pretty efficient as you kind of went through all the things. You did do some searching.
Yeah.
Is there any scan the area? Can I have a look what's going on?
Let's have awareness rolls as you kind of like have a quick look around to see.
I missed those.
What the crack is.
Ooh. Put your drone out. Oh no, wrong character.
It's a 7.
Total.
Oh yeah, I love awareness rolls.
Can you not spend anything? Make it even partway good.
I probably should.
Anybody else?
I can make it 15 actually if I spend a fellowship hope.
I didn't. Can we all have a look? I presumed it was a little hole.
Oh yeah. No, so as you've all kind of like come out,
five
of you now.
I can
come out, blinking into the light. You can kind of have a look around. I would imagine it's a fairly natural thing to kind of like do.
Yeah,
So
you said roll.
16 regular success.
Okay, 16. So Sirk, you kind of like as you kind of like you probably come out last, having done the rune on the door, and you kind of like turn to look back through the threshold, and you wouldn't swear whether whether it was there and you didn't really see it because you wasn't paying much attention, but almost graven into the lintel at the top, which isn't that far off you because you didn't dig all the earth down. You see the sigil that you have seen throughout the Dalelands of the reverse figure with the crosses for eyes. Doesn't look like
We
it's
really have to
carved
find out
in
what
there.
this means.
And as I say, is it just because you pay more attention now? You weren't searching earlier and all that kind of stuff, but that's certainly kind of like there. And it's almost as if it's like the grain in the rock, or somebody's kind of put some dark mark in. It's not like carved in or scratched in or anything like that on it. And
Domi, do you know what this means?
he looks up to it and he kind of like, bad. I don't really know, but the text I've read, it does not all go well.
Shit.
Torg, you see black shapes soaring in the sky. It's getting larger, possibly larger. Wingspan, the equal of the giant eagles, but dark feathers, long, sinuous necks, huge beaks, impossibly large vultures starting to circle, becoming closer.
Let's book it.
Closer.
I'd wager that's a bad sign.
You would probably
Run.
win
You might
that
be
wager.
right.
I'm gonna end the session there on a cliffhanger.
Ooh. Like it.
Nice.
So yeah,
Oh, fuck.
good.
See, we had plenty. So they were outside the problem. We should have just stayed in and kept robbing the tomb. I mean, borrowing the
We should have been there. We should have indexed the books. We should have
Yeah.
Dewey
No,
decimaled them.
checked out what else was in there. I'm sure there would have been some nice gear.
Rack up those shadow points.
Hey,
Bing,
I'm only on
bing,
3.
Bing, bing,
There
bing.
is for dwarves. There's some kind of virtue or something that actually
Stiff neck of dwarfs, yeah.
benefits having shadow points. Yeah. So
I thought that's
I might
what
have
you
to
were
look at
after,
that
Ben.
next. No, I'm playing it as my character would.
So stick neck of dwarfs allows you to add your shadow number to your rolls involving use of common skill, except for custom skills. But that's so
I
plus
don't have
3
any of them
points.
anyway.
No, me neither. We're not custom people. So dwarfs.
Yeah, no, it's like I say, that's my weakness, and that's what he spends his time doing, was digging into places to try and find knowledge and stuff. And there's no way he was leaving that. We're not going to get back in this place ever again.
Yeah, well, there we have it. Okay, good stuff. I enjoyed that session, guys. That was fun. That was good fun. So let's quickly do when shall we play next? I could do a couple of weeks from now,
Let's have a look.
which would be the 7th of May, I reckon.
Yeah, looks fun.
yep, can do that.
Yeah. Okay, that works for me as well.
Okay, and I think that will then end on a fellowship phase, I would imagine, which will be all right.
Yeah, I'm almost full. I need to spend some of these points.
Yeah, I know.
I'm maxed in everything except for the personality run, which I've got 0 in. The custom run, which I've got 0 in, and then the survival one that I've got 2 in.
Cool, good stuff. So we next play. Sorry, go on, Joe.
Are we getting 2 experience for that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Because your objective was to get the coat of mail, get to safety. So whilst I wouldn't necessarily say you got to safety, but you moved on to a
Safety
different.
was a hope.
Well, you moved on to a different phase, didn't you? You were definitely going towards achieving your objectives. So as far as I'm concerned, that feels fine.
Oh, we safely got the coat of mail.
That is
Yep.
correct. That is correct.
Yeah, no one died in the tomb.
Well,
Not
Well,
yet.
I know. None of us died in the tomb.
nobody who carries any narrative weight died in the tomb.
Yeah.
Poor Core. Poor Core. Cool. So,
Or crow food.
so we're going to play next on 7th of May. We'll probably be starting hot with a combat, possibly.
No, we're running.
That's
We've got
right.
a long distance run to prep for.
Vulture's known for only being good over short distances.
That's it.
And I hope you enjoyed that. Please do let us know your thoughts. If there was anything that you thought was mint, if there was anything you thought was
Vanilla?
Right, yeah, I guess.
Or
so.
chocolate?
I like that. Vanilla. Basic
Yeah.
bitches.
But yeah, just let us know. We always like to hear from you all. So thank you very much. And we'll see you 7th of May, I guess, a couple of weeks or there or thereabouts.
Thanks for everyone who joined us live.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Cheers, bye.
All right, so that's where the video ends. But I'll leave the stream running.